Shout out to Sith for hooking me up with the clip so I could finally be doing some FOC clips on here. What's going on?
Oh man, I'm conscious. I just don't know how you do it, man. I don't. I turn 51 tomorrow, and my days of breaking night the way you're doing right now are
Oh
long
man.
gone, long gone.
Some nights for spine ticks, I'm done by like I'm losing it by 2 a.m. Last night I think it was 3 or so. I was like, it's time to go to bed. And Sith kept it going with Hairy Old Fat Guy, uh, uh, Sam, Wookie something. I forget. It's not Wookie fodder because Sith made that mistake last night. Blanking suddenly. And who else was on there? He had somebody else on there. He had Short Box Bernie, who was part of the original Three Men crew.
Oh, that's right. I saw him pop on.
He hopped on.
Hella late.
I was on there a little bit with him, and then I had to hop off, but caught the rest of it on. There we go. Wookiee fanatic. Thank you. It's still early, brain's still not functioning 100% yet. But let's shout out everybody in the chat here. We had Travel and Root Beer in here first. Then we had Wes Comics Collection. Sith Lordly surprisingly is awake and alive. I think he was streaming for probably 12 hours combined yesterday between Panels and Pints, and then the impromptu, and then the second impromptu, and then the real show. So he had a busy day yesterday. We got Lewis Shadow Rabbit, Clay Master right here. Panel Surfing, who was on our show last night. He's been getting into the YouTube community. He's been a great member of the Instagram community, but just started checking out the YouTube side of things. I have I have the StreamYard that only lets you stream for 20 hours in a month. So, and then I think you want to give a big shout out here to Alex Garcia.
Oh man, this dude is the ultimate. All the awesome logos that you see out there for Three Men in the Basement, for Pressable Defects, and now the Comic Lou and DJ Curse Words. That's all Alex Garcia, man.
Those are hilarious.
Go to his Instagram, please. This dude is fire. It's like it's got that graffiti feel to it.
Yeah,
but that grit but it's super clean. I love it, man.
Absolutely. It. Yeah, if anybody with a wrench wants to drop his Instagram link, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think Travel and Sith have a wrench, so one of them may be. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Comics Talk Weekly, who'll be following this show at 4 p.m. He'll be on doing a live show talking about the previews catalog. So that's kind of perfect segue. FOC is the one side of ordering your comics, and the other side is the previews catalog. Getting those orders in early.
Yes, please.
And we got Something Wong in here. We got Bricks the Iron Geek. We got a pretty deep squad here this morning. It looks like it just like jumped. Johnny Rosado of Dream of August Comics. There we go. Where's the Sparks Comics parody?
yo, Johnny, we're working on yours first, man. It's been a pain in the ass doing yours because you're like the nicest guy on YouTube. So we have to parody you without looking like villains. So it's like
yeah, that is a tough one. We got Comic Con, who I believe got the grand prize from T. Ravis's mystery box. Because I believe on Instagram he goes by Con Jelly. Something like that.
What?
Like the KON part of that. We got No Good Comics in the house. Nice. We got Low Grade Hero. What's going on? Who else we got in here? We got Professor Comics. I'm getting too old for this shit show. I think that is everyone's in here right now. Yep, he is Con Jelly Comics. So congrats on the big pool from T. Ravis's mystery box.
Awesome.
So today, we're doing the usual FOC show, but Lou we've been talking, wanted to get him on here to provide some perspective from the LCS on getting your orders in for FOC and what might happen if you don't get your orders in for FOC.
You ain't getting your books, man. You ain't getting your book. We're going to be doing some skits with a comic Karen regarding that, but I mean, yeah, you have to make your orders before FOC. As we're seeing right now with the delays for Berserker, perfect example. The worst example, IDW's The Last Ronin. That is what happens when they get flooded for FOC. So, and those are people that are ordering as scheduled, and it's causing delays. Imagine now you come to the shop and you're like, hey man, I want this book, and you're ordering it 2 days before release. It's not happening because FOC, the way FOC works is the publishers print enough to cover damages and lost shipments. They don't print for you and we just woke up after a long night of spine ticks and remembered, oh God, I need to make my order. They don't order. I mean, so like if your shop is able to get you a book after FOC, that's pure luck. That has nothing to do with that they had enough supply for the book.
And even more luck if, day of they sell out and they're still able to order you a book.
That's straight luck. So what happens is from behind the scenes with the shops is, luckily I have Kevin at the shop that helps me out, that does orders as well. So we can tag team it. But when, let's say like you come into the shop or Alex or Johnny hits me up and is like, hey man, I really need this book. And it's a reorder. When we get on there, I am racing and competing with the other 275 shops nationwide. Whoever gets the order in first gets the book. And you're literally watching live. I've actually seen it. So on Diamond, what you don't, I know you guys have shown the screen a couple of times. Sometimes like even Bueller will show his screen. A green circle, I think it is, shows that the book is available. If you the moment that thing turns purple, that book's on back order. And then when you get the little Ghostbuster logo, it's out. That's it. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
And I've actually watched that happen live while you're sitting there trying to order.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've like, if there's something I missed and I just seeing if my shop can order it, because for whatever reason it wasn't on my radar. I find out later, I'm like, man, this is actually something I want to read. They go in and I see those the red where it's like completely like no go, never going to happen, out of print kind of thing.
Right.
And I've never seen it do the change from green to purple or anything like that. But
yeah, that'll be on the retailer side. They'll see it on their menu, and once it does that, what you guys will see if you're not in the retailer side, you'll see check with retailer. I think it is. That's automatically a bad sign. That means that it's typically in back order or out of stock.
Yeah. So shout out to All Strands Comic Collection who joined us, and Flicks and Comics who just joined us.
Hey.
But yeah, so we'll start kind of getting into a little bit more of what books are on FOC this week. But like we're kind of hinting at here, that final order cutoff, FOC, is the date at which the shop can no longer order these books for sure. Like you said, maybe you're going to get lucky. Maybe they get an order in for you, but there's no guarantee. And so
that's right.
I don't know if you have any examples of when that's come up. Like, you get people day of or the day before, they're like, oh man, I just heard about this. And
Last Ronin.
That's the biggest one.
And then on top of that, they shorted all the shops because so IDW, they went and they accepted all the FOC orders. The problem was that they had already printed the books, and they were nowhere prepared for the increased orders, so they just blew it off. They never went back to their print. Have you noticed how Boom went back and kept delaying? It's because they did the right thing. Unfortunately, I mean, for us, because there's a delay, but they want to make sure everybody gets their books.
Yeah,
Because I think Berserker sold like 600,000 copies.
it's
I think they
insane.
just broke. I think they broke a record there. Well,
That's
actually, I
crazy.
know they broke a record in the last 10 years because we haven't
Yeah.
seen numbers like that since the 1990s.
I'll say that's like a X-Men 1 kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
What, 1 million copies or whatever on that?
yeah. Oh yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, X-Men 1, I think yeah. Actually, I think it was more than that. It was like 4 million copies or
I
something.
knew it was,
But
yeah, somewhere over a
yeah,
million.
it was
Yeah.
crazy. But the big thing is IDW screwed the pooch big time to the point that they just said, "Oh, well, screw you guys." So we people ordered right at FOC. They did the right thing, but then IDW sent shops like I think it was anywhere between 40 and 50% of their order, their actual
Yeah.
order. So what they actually meant was the order that you made at they call it what the heck do they call it? Now I'd have to look it up, but initial order.
Yeah.
So initial order, we're typically guaranteed to get our books because initial order is it could be as much as 2 months prior to the release date, sometimes longer of the book, and the publisher hasn't even gone to the printer yet, so you're good to
Yeah.
go there. But FOC, I mean, that's 2 weeks prior, and that's a
Right. And I do want, since you're saying the initial order thing, I believe that's what actually Comics Talk Weekly will be talking about, because that's what you
right.
do with the previews catalog. You're getting that
That's
initial
right.
order in.
That's when
Um,
you're supposed to make the order to
right.
really guarantee your books.
Right. And then this is kind of your last chance.
Ditch.
Is there something that you missed? Now you're
Right.
looking through everything week by week. Here's the things that you missed. Let's get that order in and try to guarantee that you get it.
And you know, and we were talking about it backstage. You know, the FOC. I mean, the other publishers aren't bound by FOC. Right now, they're just being smart because they don't want to get caught up in a class action lawsuit. FOC is Marvel and Diamond Comics. They got sued by the retailers back in I think like the 90s or whatever, and so they're bound by case law to provide an FOC, which is 2 weeks prior to release, and they have to allow retailers to either increase or reduce their orders. That's what FOC is. And then the other publishers are just like, especially DC, they're just like, well, at any time the retailers could get pissed off and include us in that lawsuit, so
Yeah.
we'll just play nice. But technically, IDW, Scout, uh, even a bad idea. All those guys, TKO, none of them are bound by FOC
Yeah.
right now. So
Yeah. And I know you said 2 weeks before, but I think they even go usually 3 weeks before, probably to give themselves that extra space so they're really not getting close to that point.
IDW was the worst example. IDW right now, it looks like they fired a bunch of people. You can't even just a really, you know, opening the curtain behind the scenes. We're trying to work on some retailer exclusives, and that division or that department of IDW is completely like shut down in terms of they're not accepting any new stuff right now
Wow.
because
That's crazy.
they're all ate up right now. They're trying to fix things, recalibrate, make sure that they don't do what they did with Last Ronin again.
I was saying they mostly have like the properties, like they have Turtles, Transformers, Star Trek, My Little Pony, that kind of stuff. But they've had some good other stories in there too.
Yeah, they do. But I'm trying to figure out IDW in terms of like it, because Marvel has gone in and just snatched things back from them. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Marvel doesn't snatch back Transformers here in the near future. Like so I'm wondering what type of contract IDW actually has with those. Is it with Hasbro or is it with somebody else? And because they do some Marvel stuff too, like that.
Oh yeah, Marvel Action.
Like Marvel Action and stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Sith is saying Stranger Things, GI Joe, some of the other properties they have. And then we had two other people join us: Desired Comics and Real Rude 6. So shout out to them. So let's start talking about DC. Let's bring this up, and I'd love to hear your perspective on what are people ordering as we go through this. But we'll start out with Batman 0.1 cover A, or I guess it's Batman Fortnite 0.1. So this is a Batman Fortnite crossover.
That's what it's looking like. They saw Marvel's success with those Fortnite covers, I bet.
Yeah. So then, well, I guess there was technically a story. It was embedded in, I think, Fantastic Four 24,
Right.
The Thor story.
Right.
But DC's like, hey, we'll do one better. We'll do a full story on Fortnite.
Well, they keep doing this to each other. They have I mean, DC, I think, knocked it out the park with what was it? Damn it, Future State. And now here comes Marvel with Heroes Reborn. They're just shoving it up our tail with the same exact
Yeah. I mean, but we've seen them do that for years. They've not traded, but stolen things from each other back and forth, and characters, story ideas.
I mean, can we really say that though? Now, and here I am contradicting myself, but all of these artists keep jumping back and forth. So, I mean, at this point, it's just this intermingled mixed family at both of those publishers. Actually, all three of the three main publishers. Image, DC, and Marvel. All of them. It's the same writers and artists that just keep jumping between the three.
Which is like when I see a new writer, new artist on like an Image book, I think that's really cool. Or maybe not necessarily a new one, but someone we don't see doing a lot of these other works. So I always kind of look out for that kind of thing, to get a new writer. You got a new perspective on the way that they're putting the story out. This whole thing here really says 3 covers. There's a premium variant,
right?
Also, so is that going to be? So that's $5.99. No, they're all $5.99.
Well, see, here's
cover A is $4.99.
Right. Well, here's an interesting one here. That Batman Ninja Turtles. That's IDW and DC, and that's going to be the first time we see an ID. Do not start going and buying this book and specking just because I say this. Which would be watch it spike.
This is the trade paperback.
Trade paperback, but it's funny because this indicates now that IDW. Well, in this case, because it's with DC, I don't think they're the primary anyway on this. The primary owner of this, because Lunar is getting ready to. Lunar's distributing it now, right? And IDW's exclusively with Diamond Comics. So,
yeah, All Strands does some art. It is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. So the Fortnite here, Turtles here. So we haven't gotten to like just DC stuff on its own yet. We got an omnibus, Golden Age here. So that's kind of interesting. Get some Golden Age Batman. We
awesome.
Select Detective Comics 192 to 208, Batman 76 to 84, and World's Finest 63 to 70.
What aggravates me about that right now, that just hurt my stomach, is that Miles Morales right now first person Miles Morales is still worth more than some of those Detective Comics.
That's
Golden Age Batman, which is ridiculous.
It's shot up. We got a trade paperback for Dark Knight's Death Metal, The Multiverse Who Laughs.
That's actually pretty
look at this. We thought we were done with Future State. What's this?
Oh, isn't that well, that's the last one.
Yeah. I honestly thought we were completely done with it. But this one's kind of, I guess maybe it got delayed or something.
That one, I don't know about your LCS. That one hasn't sold too well just yet at the shop, but I think it's mostly because people don't know they don't understand what it is.
I don't think Roger liked this one.
No.
I think I can't remember if this was before or after his Aquaman review, but the Aquaman review was hilarious.
Oh God, yeah, because it's Lex Luthor's on runs a planet, right?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I heard.
yeah,
And there's a cardstock variant.
yeah,
Cool cover by David Nakayama.
yeah. That dude always kills it.
Yeah. And then we got a trade paperback for Green Arrow, Black Canary, Till Death Do They Part. And then we get Joker, Joker Harley, Criminal Sanity, number 8 of 8. So this is wrapping up the
This
Black.
is a really good book, though. The
That's what I've
artwork in this
heard.
book is phenomenal. This is really good. That the artwork, the interior artwork, sells the book. It's a fantastic book.
Yeah, we've got art by Jason Badauer and Miko Swayan. And yeah, I didn't even realize that. Miko Swayan does some great covers.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been consistent throughout all of them, but I know the first couple of issues, whenever Harley's having like a flashback, they draw it all in black and white, and then when it's present time, it'll be all in color. It's a really good. But the only problem, of course, is that you need the magazine size bags and boards for these because they're big books.
Yeah. And this was something that I, DC wise, I was thinking about actually checking out. I never did, but maybe I'll get like the collected of it later because I've heard really good things.
It's good. It's great artwork in there.
Yeah. I wonder if Badauer does the flashbacks because it's kind of that black and white. I don't know if that's the style.
Yeah, it's really good though.
And then maybe Miko Swayan does the like the current day or something.
Right. Yeah, I always thought that when I got into the retail side that I was going to stop reading and just strictly just sell, and you get hooked. You get hooked. As a matter of fact, it's like the whole thing is you're trying to follow the golden rule: don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah,
but,
it's hard sometimes. You got to do some quality control.
Yeah.
Try it a little bit to make sure that you're selling something good.
Right, but you don't. I don't want to be that shop that has like half their inventory in the back office because I don't want to sell it because
you got all the ratios for yourself.
Yeah. I'm back there like Gollum, my precious.
The last thing they have here is Tiny Titans Pet Club trade paperback. So for the younglings,
bro, let me tell you something. I am praying that all the publishers keep doing this. You'll find all of the old school retailers say this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
We got to get hook books for the kids in the shop, man. I'll buy 10 of those just to have them in the shop because we get parents all the time bringing their kids in for the first time. And those are those hook books that are going to get them into this crazy hobby. And, 20 years, 30 years from now, they'll be on spine ticks.
Oh gosh. Hopefully I'm not still 20 years. I don't know. I don't know if I can be. I don't think my body can take spine ticks for 20 years.
We'll be crying all depressed. We're still on spine ticks. No, just kidding.
It keeps making me come on. No, I'm kidding. But that's it for DC from the Lunar website for FOC. There are none of these books I'd expect have ratio variants, so I'm not even going to be looking to see that. Maybe this does, but again, that's a book. If you're into Fortnite, I think this is a great book for you to read. Outside of that, I'm not 100% sure. But since we're talking about
who's writing it?
Christos Gage and Donald Mustard. I don't know.
To see.
Riley Brown is on art.
Okay.
I don't know. So then we're talking about Lunar, and look what we have here. Scout Comics has signed a non-exclusive distribution deal with Lunar Distribution. So they're expanding. Their stuff right now does, I believe, get sent through Diamond, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Diamond puts the smaller publishers at the back of the bus. Scout is genius doing that because since they're going to be Lunar's second publisher, Lunar's going to give them a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be looking at the Lunar page here probably in about when's it going down? Does it say?
It doesn't say when this is going to happen, but actually, let me.
Oh, April.
Okay.
It says at the top, April.
I was going to just see, if we jump ahead, right? So here's April 4th. Do we now see Scout Comics here on FOC? Because it is saying that their books will be on the final order cutoffs. So it might be later in April. Or they might still be working on, what to put to release when.
Let me see if June.
I'm just doing a quick perusal here. So maybe it's not on here yet.
They haven't updated it yet, but man, this is fantastic news. This is
absolutely.
It was genius on their part, and of course it's low risk for them because if things fall apart, they didn't sign an exclusive,
right?
And Diamond. The only thing I would say right now is I think Image, in particular, is going to be watching how this goes down. If they see a lot of success, I would not be shocked if Image heads over to Lunar next. And if that happens, I think Diamond will go out of business.
It would be interesting.
I don't think Diamond can lose. They lost 40% of their, I think it was 30 or 40% of their sales when DC left.
Wow. Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see, if some of the other smaller indie comic publishers do something with Lunar and get on their FOC because, like you said, they're not one of the preferred publishers or premium publishers, I think they call it, right?
Right. If you want to know the difference, this is not a shameless plug. We put some effort into it, but it was all emotional when we did it because we were pissed off. If you go on our page and look Lunar versus Diamond on our channel, we videotaped the difference between the packing of the two. They're not even on the same level, man. Lunar ships damn near like they're shipping graded books. I mean, their boxes are filled with this thing called bubble wrap. It's amazing. Diamond should learn about that technology, and their ratio variants, always come bagged and boarded. You don't have to guess.
Wow.
Like when we got the Berserker order, we had to sit there and pull all the ratios out.
Yeah.
Identify them from the pile because the warehouse at Diamond doesn't do that for you.
My shop actually had damages on some of those.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Another thing too is timeliness. Now, Lunar really wants to have a good reputation with the shops. My DC order for this Tuesday, I received last Thursday. I got it early.
Wow.
Oh yeah. So
I know they're usually like the day before for the Diamond stuff.
Well, people were scared. People were scared. Oh, dude, Diamond will hit me. Did you know there's shops that get their Diamond order the day of New Comic Book Wednesday? I would jump out the window. I'd shut the shop. I'd have a mental breakdown. If
my shop, I think it was last week. They posted something saying, "Hey, we aren't going to have new comics on Wednesday," and then a couple hours later, like right before they would have been closing, they said, "We got the Diamond order in." So this is like 7:00 Tuesday night. It arrived, and so then they have to sort it, figure out what they got in, what's missing, pull the ratios out, like you said, price the ratios, put everything out on the shelf, and
get everything in their inventory system, in their point of sale system if they have one. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you got to do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was just not ideal for them. But I know some places it didn't even show up.
Yeah. If you ever watch, so when I went to open up my shop, I watched every YouTube video I could researching, comic book shops, how to open up one, and the consistent message was that Diamond was horrible. You can watch any video on YouTube. No one says anything nice about Diamond. I mean, And I think now Reggie Collects was wise in saying, if you're constantly telling someone they suck, eventually they're just they're just going to stay bitter, and it's not going to help
Yeah.
things.
I
But
mean, there's been enough out there like, hey, this would be a good improvement using bubble wrap, or like what's happening, it seems like with the lunar distribution, maybe aiming for an earlier arrival date. Stores, most stores are very good at saying Wednesday's new comic book day, and they will honor that. So
yeah,
if they have it early, it's not like they're going to be like, here it is, it's out for the public. I've seen that with DC books in some places where they would release it like if it showed up on Saturday, they put it out on Saturday instead of like the Tuesday, which seems to be
right.
the target date.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think where everybody gets upset with here, Previews World Diamond, is that these guys have been doing this, since the late 80s at a minimum. By now, you would think they'd be using bubble wrap. You think that their warehouses would be, doing all these things. As a matter of fact, they just shut down one of their warehouses. They had 3 warehouses. They're down to 2 warehouses now.
Oh
And I
man.
think a lot of it, they're saying COVID. I'm like, no, that's lunar. Lunar.
Yeah.
And, now that Midtown Comics is out of that game and it's just strictly lunar now, that's pretty.
Right.
And Lunar proved that they could handle the workload.
Right.
Because everyone thought that when Lunar picked up Midtown that it was going to go to crap, and I don't think it has. At least not on our end. If it has in your shops, I'd like to hear about it. But not
I
on our end.
haven't heard anything. The only thing I ever hear is, the ordering system is not very easy to use. Granted, neither is Diamond's, but to keep track of who's ordering what is a little bit more difficult. I don't know if you guys have that experience too.
I would disagree in that if I go on Lunar right now, what I love, it'll tell me on every page when I pick up a book, it'll show me what I've already ordered as an example. Diamond won't do that. So sometimes that's how we end up with more books than we should have. And then we end up with a bunch of books that are acting as insulation for the shop instead of being sold. And it's because on Diamond, like when you go into if you're looking at initial orders, it'll tell you if you've previously ordered anything. But if you go into reorders, it doesn't tell you. On Lunar, it tells you every time. Not only that,
I've heard that too.
Lunar even tells you, let's say you're looking at a ratio variant, it'll tell you how many books you need to order and how close you are to qualifying for the variant.
Yeah.
Diamond does not do that.
Man. But I think the thing I had heard was on the side of once it comes in, and I think they said that they've been my LCS has been keeping track on like an Excel sheet of who orders what DC books.
Right. Because they don't have that system available on Lunar yet.
Right. That's their one thing with it. That's kind of like the
But I think Lunar keeps when they do launch their stuff, they do it right though. And man, I feel like a Lunar fanboy. But like, for instance, for your Damaged and Lost, you could do that online from like the first couple of weeks of Lunar. Diamond realized that Lunar was doing that, and Diamond just now launched it. And then they buried it in their menu. So it took a while. They didn't even have a link that took you to where to report your losses and damages for a while. They're just now. Okay, so what I'm basically saying is that competition makes us better. If it wasn't for Lunar, Diamond wouldn't even have that system online right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think having that competitor, I don't want one of them to get rid of the other, right? I want them to compete, to innovate because they're trying to compete, and that's just going to make things better for everyone across the board.
Yeah, I don't want my competitors to go out of business up here. I want them.
Yeah,
they motivate me to be better, right?
Right. If you're the only one providing that service or good, you can be lazy with it and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm the only person you can get this from. And that's kind of, I think, what might have happened with Diamond over time was they said, well, we're the only people doing this. And now Lunar's there to give them some competition, and they're saying, okay, well, we'll start stepping up our game. So I hope that they turn that into better packaging and that kind of thing too.
Yeah, because I was worried about customer service, especially with when we jumped into this business. Just out of just a side note with the shops, when we jumped into this business, there was 330 comic book shops nationwide. I think there's currently 275 right now after COVID. So that's a significant loss of shops. And one would worry that you're going to start seeing customer service dwindle when competition dwindles. You know what I mean? Because I have a lot of people that are coming to our shop
Yeah,
now because they feel like they were mistreated or they were slighted at their shop. And how easy would that be for us to turn into assholes if we don't check ourselves and remember, hey, this person doesn't have to come to us; they can go to somebody else. We have to earn their money and we have to earn their patronage, right?
exactly. Yeah, it the competition makes everything better. But let's look at what we got on the cutoff this week for Image Comics. So we got starting off. We got Crossover number 4 is getting a second print, which is just a color swap of the first print. It was blue, now it's purple. I've been loving this story. I don't think I'm going to pick up a color swap cover though for this. I don't know if you've seen any pre-order.
Yeah, we see it, but it's from select collectors that it's because everybody wants that something is killing the children money. Because you saw, that fourth and fifth print skyrocketed, and now they're thinking that every cover is going to do that. I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care. It's a sale, but I feel bad for them because if that particular bubble pops in that, in that second, third print
Mhm.
game, they're going to be stuck with a book that well, at least they would have bought it at cover price from me. But if they're going on the eBay and paying $100 for
Oh
a
man.
different color cover, that's on. I mean, I feel bad for them if that bubble pops. So.
Yeah, and I got some breaking news here
Oh,
um, from Amy.
oh God.
I hear tomorrow is your birthday, so happy birthday, Lou.
Thank you.
Um, so while you've been talking, I was downloading a happy birthday image.
Oh my God.
She said to go
Thank
ahead
you.
and embarrass you. There we go.
Oh, thanks, babe.
And we got Guy Forge in here now. What's going on, Guy? He made it
What
just in time
up?
to see the birthday
Holy
announcement.
cow.
And then Tony
Awesome.
from Skeleton Key Comics on Instagram is in here, or maybe it's Sammy on Tony's account. I'm not sure. And Entropy and Comics joined us also. So shout out to all of them. Got Comic Con says you don't look a day over 50.
Oh, I appreciate that. 51 tomorrow. 51. Oh, wait. So he's right. Right now, I don't look a day over 50. At midnight, I will. Well played. Well
Don't
played.
look a day over 49.
Well played.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
Look at
oh
this.
my God. That's awesome.
Yeah, Johnny's afraid Austin's gonna come and get him if he doesn't pay off that.
Yo, let me tell you something. Austin, oh, I love that kid, man.
That
He's
was
just,
hilarious.
we'll have an audio fix for next week, man. We got some stuff going down, man. But just being able to see him being able to access all these books, it's awesome, man. And he's
Yeah,
got a good eye for stuff, man. Just
that's
watch. We should just film him just shopping for books, but I don't want to give up all his trade secrets. He's got really good eye for books and for keys. He's really good.
that's awesome. So speaking of crossover, number 5 is on this week's FOC. So we're continuing the Kids Love Chains story. I don't know. Did you see my Instagram about who I thought have you been reading crossover at all?
I've been in and out of it. I know that that sword now is part. The sword from God and Country was introduced in this last issue, and
Yeah.
they had a Gundam in one of the issues. I mean, they're
Yeah. So there was this guy chained up in the basement, in the preacher's basement,
yeah.
and I was talking to God, which channel? It was one of the UK channels. They had a crew on, and they were like, "Man, who is this guy that's chained up down here? He looks like he's got a superhero costume on and everything." And I was like, "Well, maybe it's one of the comic creators that's gone missing," because they talked about that
Mm.
earlier in the book. Shout out to Eli who joined us in here, and so I say that, and then I think it was Perpetual Comics. He's like, "I think that's Todd McFarlane." And I'm like,
What?
it is Todd McFarlane. So if you go to my Instagram, I have a post on there a little ways back. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I'll just go up.
I guess I should highlight that guy.
Highlight that guy.
It's not gonna get clear, I don't think.
Yeah,
But
it's
it,
your.
it, it looks like him.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's messed up. They did
So
him dirty.
well, and so at the beginning, remember, there's a quote from Todd McFarlane that says, "Kids love chains," and so that guy's chained up in the basement. So I don't know. That might be what's going on there.
Hey, do we know why TiVo hates Donny Cates so much?
I don't know.
Yo, it doesn't sound like he's a fan of Donnie.
He
But
is
yeah,
not.
Donnie has the golden touch,
I think
man.
I think something happened. Maybe it was something that he reported or speculated on or something.
He started beefing with TiVo.
And so I don't know. I think it might have been something like that, but I don't know. There's some drama there
Oh my
between
God.
TiVo
Oh, man.
and Donny Cates. They seem crossover seems to be following this
Yeah.
like formula. The 1 in 10 is going to be a virgin cover of cover A. What else we got? We got then a black and white cover for the 1 in 25.
That's dope.
And then we get the 1 in 50 continually is just these ... the ellipses thing with a different color. I don't know. There was a Kate's verbal spar in the Facebook group. Oh, that's right. Yeah. There was someone. I think someone like reported something, and then Kate's was in the group or something and got mad, and they.
Well, Donnie, we're gonna let you know right now if you're watching, we ride or die with TiVo, so you don't want that smoke, Donnie. You don't want that smoke.
Hey now, we're all. Donny Cates is great. He's putting out some good stuff here.
He is.
We're not getting into the drama, but yeah, I mean, we all love TiVo too. So
yeah, you better stay in pocket, Cates. No, I'm just kidding.
What else we got going on here? We got Decorum number 7 from Jonathan Hickman. I've heard this is good but confusing, just like Hickman's stuff usually is.
Yeah, but here's what I'm loving. So we just seen Cates and Hickman, who we know do stuff for Marvel. Only a couple of years ago, they wouldn't have been allowed to jump between publishers the way they are right now. Is it because they're so great and they're selling so many books, or they just, you know what I mean?
Some of these writers are just everywhere. Like Cates is everywhere. Cates is about to do something else for Image, right? He's about to do the Spawn stuff for the summer.
Right, but then he's also rumored to be he's going to be taking over Amazing Spider-Man. So I think you do have to be at another level to be able to go to Marvel of all things and say, "Hey, I'm going to do these books for you, but I'm also going to be doing stuff for other publishers, and you're just going to sit here and take it."
Well, I think so. I think his contract is, he can't go to DC. He can do his own stuff, but he can't be doing stuff for DC.
Oh, and Image is creator owned.
Right. So he could publish his stuff anywhere that's creator owned, but he couldn't do something with DC.
Shame. I'd love to see him fix Superman.
I don't think him going to DC is out of the question though once his time with Marvel expires. So I think he wants to. So I think he wants to get over there if they want him and do some crazy stuff there too. He's kind of, he's kind of built up what he's been trying to do within Marvel. Like it's all been leading up to this King in Black. Like,
right.
Since the beginning of him writing at Marvel, he had some end goal in mind, and this was part of it.
Yeah, he's a God. That Thor run has been fantastic. I've never picked up a bad issue with that.
I'm not really even like a big Thor fan, and I've enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I picked it up because I was enjoying his writing. I might actually be dropping it soon just to cut out something from my reading, because I'm reading so much indie. Like,
oh yeah,
if I showed you, I wonder if I can. This will be a sneak peek if I can show this. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but
oh wow,
that's my Marvel at the top. There's some things ending soon that I have separated. So Champions has one more issue, King in Black. This is all indie.
Wow.
There's Star Wars right there, the High Republic stuff, and I have Batman by itself here. And then these are some series that are coming back that are indie series, but they're on hiatus. So like, We Only Find Them When They're Dead, Something's Killing Children, Wind, Die, Scarenthood, Unkindness of Ravens, Necromorphous, Seven Secrets, Shadow Service, We Live. Some of those are coming back soon. Some are going to be a little while before they come back. And then I have some series that I think are ending soon. I think the Autumnal might be ending soon, potentially. And then Origins. But yeah, so there's just a ton of stuff that I'm reading. So I'm like, what do I enjoy more? Do I enjoy the indie or do I enjoy Marvel? Well, Marvel I'm reading for the characters.
Right.
And Thor's not one of my characters that I really like. So I've been reading him more for the story.
Right.
And for me, Marvel stuff I've been reading for the characters, except Strange Academy. Strange Academy's been kind of the exception there. That's been a great story too. But yeah, so it's a great read. Donny Cates been doing great things with it. Same with Venom, which I'll probably drop Venom when he stops on Venom. I might be taking a break from reading Venom. I don't know if there will be a Venom series once he stops after issue 200.
Right.
We don't know where that's going to end.
Which is actually a legacy number, so I think that's like issue
35.
35?
Yeah. So I think we just had 33 recently, so 2 more issues of that. Department of Truth, we're getting a bunch of reprints. Back to the color swap, right? Number 2 third print, number 3 third print, and then number 6 second print, which is interesting. This is a different kind of color swap here.
That's a fantastic book, though. The artwork, the interior artwork's really trippy, and you got to really I think you have to force yourself through the artwork, but the writing in that is just, wow.
For me, the
very
artwork,
stylish.
Yeah. The artwork, when I read issue 1, I had that thought. I'm like, man, I don't like this art, but I like this story.
Yeah.
Issue 2, I was like, okay, I can see that this art probably fits this story well. By issue 3, I loved the art. I just kind of like, I think I was just adjusting to it. And, more and more as I read it, I realized how well it fit the story. And I loved the art just in general, not like as a comic, though. It was very good art. It just, as a comic, I was having some trouble with it at the beginning. Shout out to T. Ravis and MacB, and I think that's everyone. Tynion can do no wrong. That's why I read Batman. Like, I love James Tynion's writing, so that's another author that's just everywhere.
Oh yeah.
We've got over here. We've got issue number 7 of Department of Truth, which is the second issue where Martin Simmons is not doing the interiors. Oops. How did I just do that? So this is Tyler Boss on the art on the inside. Martin Simmons is doing the cover here. But if we go over to the other one, Boss did the cover on this one here with the cow. So I think we're getting some alien abduction. Truth to investigate the sightings of flying saucers, strange men in black suits trying to cover up their existence. So kind of a Men in Black kind of story. It looks like. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. That's just.
Yeah, exactly. Wind was excellent. These other ones have been excellent. So let's see what else we got over here. Noctera #1, which I absolutely loved. I did a review on it with Travel and Root Beer yesterday. It's got a second print, and this is all new art on a second print. So I'm digging that. Tony Daniel on the cover. How has the response been for this book at Aegis?
Sold out.
Yeah.
Sold out. And I think people, some of our customers that watch your show, they pick up on this stuff, and all of a sudden we see them in the orders, and then they're gone. They're gone.
I talked about it. And I think Travel and Root Beer was on that day, and he was like, "Oh man, yeah, this is a book for me," and he loved it. Wow. So I think this is one to watch, especially Scott Snyder's doing the writing, Tony Daniel's doing the art. Like, this is a good team.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
So if you missed your chance to pick it up because it's sold out near you, well, there you go. Second print. There's your time to order it before that sells out too. Let's see what else we got on here. Redneck #30, which Donny Cates again, right?
Donny Cates.
I haven't read any of this. I figured that'd be something I'll try to read later in trade paperbacks. But it's crazy that he's still doing all these other things.
Yeah, isn't it's funny you said that. Isn't Department of Truth paperback now?
Department of Truth Volume 1 is a trade paperback right now. Yeah. I think that was last week it came out.
Yeah. I gotta get a couple of those for the shop. I think we had ordered 1 or 2 and they're gone, so I gotta get more.
Yeah, it's the perfect way to catch up and then get on the series right after that.
Yeah.
Especially now, the first couple issues prices are going up because of the show news.
Yeah,
we got Savage Dragon, just chugging along. Issue number 258, and it's got a retro cover look too for a variant.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody super on Savage Dragon. Like,
I don't know, man. They're off the
I feel like it's probably got diehard fans.
Yeah, his diehard fans, because we had the what issue was that it was like his record-breaking issue. It happened what? Yeah, I think it was, and it was there was like 1 million different covers for it.
Yeah, and I think that was 250.
Yeah, and I took a look at that book, and it's a little over the top. Like, some of the characters, I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
This one right here, though, this was my indie spotlight of the week last night for the FOC portion on Spine Ticks. So, Johnny, I will look at. Oh, for Department of Truth, it should be 1 through 5.
Yeah,
1 through 5. But Shadecraft. So this, I mean, the register pitch of this kind of sells me off the bat. Dark tones of Demon Slayer and Something is Killing the Children meets a cast of contemporary teen characters not unlike Veronica Fish and Kelly Thompson's Sabrina the Teenage Witch. We got Joe Henderson on the writing. He's a Eisner-nominated Skyward writer. We got, and he's also showrunner of Netflix's Lucifer. So the other piece of this has been picked up by Netflix, and we got someone who has been a showrunner for Netflix. this is actually going to happen.
Yeah, but every
Right?
time I hear that, I think of that South Park episode where somebody calls Netflix with an idea and they answer the phone. Netflix, you're greenlit. What's your idea?
Right, right. The strange thing, actually, I don't know. I think this was somewhat recent that this actually got picked up. So at least this wasn't like I think Stray Dogs got picked up in September by Paramount Animation, and it's like uh, the book just came out like what 2 weeks ago now, so February. So it picked up several months before it was even published. That to me is like, wait, what? How did that happen?
Right.
So, but I don't know. I think this is I've read there's a preview. So if you go onto the website, you go to this, you can click, you can see a preview of it. The interior art looks really good. We have Lee Garbett doing some of the art on the interior with Antonio Fabella. So like this, just pretty good art. We got this clearly, we can see stuff going on with the shadows. That's going to be the whole kind of horror element of this.
Right.
And then look at this. I mean, it just looks
Yeah.
really good, regardless of that Netflix news. Like,
Right.
I'm picking this up for that reason. And then there's a cool cover B. Oops. If I could click when I'm trying to click. Let's see. This Jock cover. Jock did the cover art here. And then the only other cover is a blank variant. There are no ratios. I think there was a single store variant, which was pretty cool, but I missed it. But yeah, so I mean, this is like one of those things. If you're into it for the story, pick up the book, check out the story, maybe pick up an extra copy if you like it, because never know what's going on with these like option things. But yeah, that's why that became my pick of the week. Just I believe in the story.
Nice. Yeah, that's already up to order number 3 on our initial order. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So it's got,
which is always a good sign.
Mm-hmm. It's got some vibe going from your customers.
Mm-hmm.
We got Spawn 316. So with what's happening coming up with the Spawnverse stuff, it looks like we've got a new team, the Chain Gang. She Spawn, Gunslinger, Medieval Spawn, and the Reaper.
Damn.
But I guess maybe this is part 3 of 3, so maybe the Chain Gang's already been happening. I'm not reading Spawn.
Well, the thing is, isn't Spawn? I think Spawn's breaking up into multiple books here shortly.
We're gonna have 4 books. We're gonna have the main Spawn title. I want to say it's the Gunslinger Spawn's getting his own. And then there's 2 others that I don't know what they were.
Gunslinger Spawn is super popular. Anything with Gunslinger on the cover always sells out at the shop. They're loving him.
Dang, what is this?
Oh, that's a sick cover.
Yeah, Bjorn Berens. I've never heard of this artist.
Oh, damn.
Sith talking about the NBA Top Shot NFTs, which I still don't get the point of that. Why are you going to buy something digitally? I guess because you can't buy the cards in person because they get sold out so quick.
Exactly.
So buy some digital cards instead. This was a book that just recently came out that I really loved. Sith, I know, loved this one. A lot of people have been talking about it too. 2 Moons #1. It's getting a second print. If you look at my Instagram and my story, I posted the final colors of this. They placed it. Yeah, crazy marketplace money. Yeah. I mean, hey, if you can get them cheap and resell them and people are going to buy them, do you know? But then issue number 2 for 2 Moons is coming out. So issue 1 set up this story very nicely. We've got, of course, Civil War going on. We have 2 Moons, who is a Union soldier. And we know kind of ended with him not necessarily being in the best place with some things that he did. I don't want to spoil for any who haven't gotten to read it, but this will be, I mean, I guess it kind of says it here a little bit, facing a court martial and execution. But we've already been getting a taste of the horror elements of his shamanic roots. And then we do get some good interaction between him and one of the Union Army nurses, who was an immigrant. So it's lots of good stuff going on with this. And there's a cool cover B here by Francisco Mobili.
And you know you've been on spine ticks too long when the sunlight bugs you. I almost started hissing as the sunlight was hitting me.
That's great. How is Two Moons done at your shop?
That one has done pretty well. But the whole thing is Two Moons has been it's specific collectors that'll order that book, and that's why we link this show on our Facebook page and stuff, because I want people to see these indies, because I think people are missing out. And they usually jump on these books way after the fact. And by then, here, the FOC, the FOC point of it, you know, they're trying to get number one and number two,
right?
You know, months after it's been released.
This is the perfect time then, you know, if you missed out on number one, get an order in for the second print. You can read the story. And at the same time, you don't even have to wait any longer. You get to read issue 2 at the same time.
Right.
It's perfect. So that ends Image. We'll move on to Dark Horse, which I don't believe had 2. Well, maybe they do have a little bit.
Oh, Dragon Age.
Dragon Age Dark Fortress number 1 of 3.
That'll sell well in the shop, actually.
So this is another chapter in the story. Okay. I don't know a whole lot about that. That's from a game, right? Dragon Age.
Yeah, that game's super. I mean, when that game came out, a lot of people thought it was going to be a WoW buster, and it wasn't. But it still gave you a healthy break from playing World of Warcraft, and it's BioWare. It's one of those games where you make choices, and you know, while you're fighting and stuff, you have a team and everything else. But it's a great storyline behind it. So that book will do very well at the shop.
Yeah, and we've seen a kind of a rise in the video game comic books doing pretty well. I think what was it, Cyberpunk 2077 had that big I guess boost and hype on the comic before the game even was out.
Right.
So we've got some hardcovers. We've got some trade paperbacks in here.
I'm literally adjusting my orders as we're talking right now. So because I have the FOC order up right next to me. So, and I'm also checking to make sure that it's matching up with FOC, because sometimes they have errors on here. But
yeah, and I've seen some things like we'll get to something in Marvel that was on FOC last week, but then it's on FOC again this week. It was Captain America 28. Because I know that because Phil's pick last week was the Cho cover, and then this week T-Ravis says that that's his pick, and I'm like, hold up, we just did this one. And there it is. It's on the FOC again.
Dude, I just got a leg cramp from hell, man.
God. Oh man.
Oh, age. Yo, live streaming. The dangers of live streaming.
Right.
No, but I'm looking at it right now. So the Cho covers is that blue? It's all blue.
Oops, weird.
Blue and white background, right?
Yeah. It's the two-tone. Here, this one right here.
Yeah. Huh. And then you've got
so all of the book covers are on it this week. And I believe all of them were on it last week.
Except for that mech strike. But I bet you
that might be why it got delayed.
Yeah, I'm gonna look on League of Comic Geek. Sometimes they have it. Which is weird. How is it that League of Comic Geeks will get stuff before previews? Who's distributing the damn book will get it?
I
It
don't
just
know.
drives me
They might
nuts, man.
they might keep an eye out on the publishers, like dropping news, and they might drop the image that way.
Right.
I'm not sure, but for those of you that are reading crossover and want to read about Madman, here we go.
Wow.
We've got
Wow.
a library edition hardcover. We got the Madmaniverse library. So this is a 680 page volume collecting his adventures from 1990 to 1996, reprinting For the Record Madman 1 through 3, Madman Adventures 1 through 3, Madman Comics 1 through 10, bonus pinups, and more, featuring they all read never before published first effort to make comics. So there you go. There's Madman in all his glory right there. And if you've ever wondered who he is, I guess there's your chance to check it out. We got some more trade paperbacks in here, and we've got, speaking of games, I know this is also this is game, book, Netflix show, all of the above. We got The Witcher, Fading Memories. So this is the last issue of the series. That's a pretty cool cover there.
Oh wow.
Nice. And then we got some Black Hammer collected here, a hardcover volume 3 of the World of Black Hammer. So I guess that's probably the best way to really catch up on Black Hammer, is to read volume 1, 2, and now 3, because there's a lot in that world, which is it's a very impressive feat to have built up all of that.
Yeah, they had that crossover to the DC and Black Hammer crossover last year.
Comic Stock Weekly saying League's on sale dates aren't always the best compared to Diamond's, so that might be a downside of Geeks.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but they always get the damn covers right. Although I just looked on Leagues and they didn't have that cover either, and that's where so people are ordering the book not knowing what it's going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is my own personal opinion about these Mech Strike covers, but I think they're not good.
Yeah.
In the main reason really is, I know the reason that they did the whole Mech Strike thing was for toys.
Yep.
And that's not something for me as a collector that I'm interested in buying comic wise. Not to say the art's not good. It's not to say that the Mech Strike story might not actually be good. But for me, it was something I looked at and I said, this is just a hard pass, because
it's a toy sell.
It's not what I want to read. And if I was interested in the toys, I think this would be super cool. I think it would be a really good thing for me, but it's not where my collecting is.
No.
We've got from IDW now, we've got Comic Book History of Animation 5 of 5. Does that look like what's that? Totoro? The Miyazaki guy. It looks a little bit like him, but with glasses on, and he's about to eat the world. Yeah, look, Japan's greatest animator, Hayao Miyazaki. So that is Totoro with glasses eating the world. I didn't know we needed that, but
Jesus,
this is pretty cool too. We got arcade game here. It looks like Rex from Toy Story versus Beast.
That's actually they should have used that as the main cover. That's actually a really cool cover.
I like that. I really do. Sweet. So they've been doing this whole series on different animation styles and going through that. So that was an interesting idea for a comic.
Right. And then My Little Pony.
Yep. We know Sith and Lady Sith are definitely getting this one. This is
we still have that competition.
Annual.
Yeah, we still have that competition at the shop. If somebody can come in and sing the My Little Pony theme and let us record it, they get a box and 3 books of their choice, My Little Pony.
I mean, I think Lady Sith would do it, but she has to be able to get there. G.I. Joe trade paperback for World on Fire. And then this, it's interesting we don't have the cover here. So we have Marvel Action Origins 2 of 5. Captain Marvel finds that she's half Kree, and then Green Goblin. So I think last time we had Spider-Man and Thanos were the stories for this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bizarre we don't have the art for cover A, but we have art for cover B with Green Goblin on it.
Wow.
Just kind of cool. Which I assume there must be probably a 1 in 10, right? Here we go.
Huh.
Which this is I think this is the same artist that did the 1 in 10 for number 1. Because it was a similar style, I think, and they had Spider-Man and Thanos on the cover like this with Origins down the middle.
Wow.
Which again, this is one of those things. It's like, who's ordering 10 copies necessarily? So then the ratio variants on these become harder to find, and people try to get it from there. We got Mephisto with us again. Mephisto was in the chat last night for Spine Ticks.
What's going on?
I have no idea who Mephisto is, but
well, we know that he didn't make a showing in WandaVision. Thanks, bro.
He's just being shy. He's actually there. We just didn't see him. He's hiding behind the corner, you know.
God, that show.
And this has been a really great read from IDW. Sea of Sorrows. We're ending it here with number 5 of 5. Mm-hmm. Exciting conclusion of Sea of Sorrows. I believe there's been a 1 in 10 on each of these. Okay, it's pretty cool.
I like that cover better.
I got the first 2 1 in 10s, I think, and then the third one I looked at and it just wasn't. The style of the cover didn't match the style of the book.
Oh yeah.
So I said no, and then I don't remember if I even looked at the one for number 4. But this I might consider. This is pretty cool. Andrew Jers is the artist. Cool. I do like every one of these covers. This is probably actually the brightest cover we've had so far. All the other ones had just like really black cover, and so hard to get no spine ticks on something like that. And then Usagi Yojimbo, Wanderer's Road number 5 of 6. Peach Momoko doing the cover art on that. All right, Marvel time. I like this first row is just kind of like hardcover omnibuses.
Wow.
Absolute Carnage is getting an omnibus. Amazing Spider-Man, McFarlane omnibus cover here. So this is ASM 296 to 329 and material from Spectacular Spider-Man Annual number 10. So there you go. If you're trying to read the Venom story, new printing collected here. Avengers Curse of the Man-Thing number 1. This is part 1 of 3. So I don't know if that's storyline part 1 of 3, or this will just be 3 issues.
It's just a shameless copy of Swamp Thing.
Who came out first? Was it Swamp Thing?
Oh, that's an awesome question.
I feel like yes, but I don't know. Because he first showed up in no, Adventure
It's been a while ago because I know Swamp Thing was the first Swamp Thing. The title had the first appearance of Constantine, and that was probably in the 80s. I don't know. I think he's been around a while.
He's saying I think Wrightson did Swampy before Marvel.
Yeah.
We got Street Side Anthony in here.
Hey, what's up, Street Side?
Look at this. Me and Chithan will use Wanda to destroy the multiverse. I love it. But I think, Man-Thing's... sorry to go back here. 50 years of Man-Thing. So I guess, if Swamp Thing's been around longer than 50 years, which I think he has. That'll answer our question. But because of that, we've had all of these Swamp Thing variants, Man Thing variants, which have been kind of odd. They're interesting matchups or mashups. But we do have Beta Ray Bill getting his own miniseries here. First one, at least, tying into King in Black. And we get a nullified Fin Fang Foom. I don't know if we needed that, but I feel like that is crazy character to have Null controlling. So Thor fans, I think this is going to be a great read for you. We got Coelho Stormbreakers variant, which I believe all of these Stormbreaker variants now are open order. If they're showing up on the previews, usually that means yes, they're open order. The previous Stormbreakers ones were one per store.
Right.
I know that question had been raised in the past. What it was. This man, how well have these Todd Knock headshot variants done?
Sold out.
Really?
Yeah, people like the headshot ones. I'm not a big fan of them, but
some of them
the customers are.
Hey, that's awesome. Some of them I feel like the zoomed in gets a little creepy, but I think that's just me. Stegman killed this one. Look at this.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And
of course, there's a Stegman sketch variant.
Yeah, that's 1 in 100.
Oh, geez.
It's a ratio.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to be 1 in 25 because he's done some that were 1 in 25 for Venom and some that were 1 in 100.
Yeah, that's the 1 in 100. Yeah.
Yeah. And did he do No, he didn't do the main cover art. Okay. But then we've got Black Cat number 4. So 1 through 3 was tying into King in Black. Now we're ending our tie into King in Black, and Black Cat's continuing. It was one of the couple tie-ins that I was actually reading for King in Black.
Yeah, she the popular title, she's Marvel's Catwoman, but I think she holds her own. I mean, people like that character. They love the way she's drawn. There's a lot of stuff to her that they like. Pretty popular title at the shop for sure.
Yeah, Copy 801 is in here, and Lewis and Copy 801 share the same LCS.
Ooh.
They've seen each other there a few times, and I guess Scott Snyder it's also Scott Snyder's LCS.
No kidding.
And he was there doing some signing today, so there might be some Noctera there.
Nice.
This cover though, God.
Yeah.
And Bartel.
Yeah.
It's absolutely stunning covers that she's been doing. I'm really I'm stopping Black Cat because I was reading the tie-in, but I don't want to continue the series. But then this cover makes me want to buy number 4.
Right.
There's a Bustos variant, also Natasha Bustos, who is one of the Stormbreakers artists. And then I don't remember if there were any ratios for this. I wouldn't think so, but could be wrong. I am wrong. We have an Adam Hughes cover.
That's a beautiful cover there. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
a really good one.
Adam Hughes knows how to draw. I wonder if
Adam Hughes has come up to Alaska already. He's done signings up here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he came up to Art of Comic Con.
I wonder, is that a 1 in 25 or a 1 in 50? I feel like probably 25.
Let's look that up here real quick because I
can't imagine they would go for super high ratio.
1 in 25.
Okay.
It's a 1 in 25. That's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
Captain
America 28, like we were talking about earlier, is on this FOC. Is on FOC last week. And we've got the Cho two-tone variant right here. I know that's been, some people are collecting all of the Cho covers, just like they were collecting all the Ross covers, just like they're collecting all the Bartel covers.
Mm-hmm.
So they know how to get people to buy the books. Whether you're reading the story or not, you might want some of these covers, and that hooks people. I know Deadman Logan was on Azar S. Tigers picks, this trade paperback. So I think that was issue 1 through 12 for that. We've got Fantastic Four by Hickman complete collection. Fantastic Four Omnibus from Kirby's time. What we got? We got a lot of collected things. We got a poster in here, another trade paperback, another trade paperback. Finally, to a King in Black tie-in, Ghost Rider #1. The War for Hell's Throne meets the King in Black. So, Ghost Rider fans, here you go. I mean, we got Flame here. How are these symbiotes going to fight that off?
Wow. Ghost Rider has such a loyal following too.
Mm-hmm. And look at this. Look at this cover. Kushala, who is the Demon Rider, Native American Ghost Rider. Like,
that's
really
a dope
cool.
cover.
I believe she's the one that made the first appearance in Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer's Supreme #1.
Wow.
There was some talk about her recently,
Right.
but I don't know exactly what that talk was. I just remember she was coming up, and so it'd be interesting to see her, see more of her. So I wonder if she'll show up in this story too, or if this was just Jen Bartel kind of highlighting the only female. Well, was she the only female Ghost Rider? I feel like there was one other.
There was another, and I can't remember her name.
I know. Chat, you guys will probably know who I'm talking about. You guys can drop that knowledge in the chat. Let's see. We got anything else? Oh, no. What's this? Perel. So I don't think there's any ratios on this one. Doesn't look like it. And so that's a one shot going on there. And then we've got King in Black Return of the Valkyries, 4 of 4. So conclusion to, here we go. Hyper pops in just to say the name of the Ghost Rider, Alejandro Jones. Thank you.
Right.
He knew we were needing some answers there, so he just popped in. And hello to Sedpool also. Happy Sunday. So get a conclusion to the storyline of Jane Foster, Valkyrie, trying to carry the soul of Sentry to the afterlife, to Valhalla. But we were getting some of these Valkyries coming back too. So I read issue 1. I haven't read any of the other ones, but it seemed like this was probably a decent tie-in to catch up on.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You summed it up, though. That's all it is. They're trying to give peace to the Sentry.
Professor, there was a omnibus that's coming out for Absolute Carnage, so you're probably gonna have to wait a little bit since that was a decent while ago now, but that means we'll probably get a King in Black omnibus. So some other covers here. This is a Phil Noto cover. It's pretty cool. And let's see what else we got. Omnibus, more omnibus, poster, trade paperback, Scarlet Witch complete collection by James Robinson. So there, if you're trying to catch up on your Scarlet Witch reading, we've got some opportunity here. For me, this is probably the Marvel pickup of the week. For the Final Order Cutoff, Silk.
Mm-hmm.
I've missed having Silk have her own story. She's been great in Agents of Atlas, whatever else they called the last storyline. I think it was Atlantis Attacks. Oh, here we go. I summoned Hyper by asking the Ghost Rider question, but he's been He's been there the whole time. Oh, there we go. So look at this. Copy and Lewis are getting able to get some copies of Noctera signed and secured for them. Hey, Copy, you wanna get another one for me? Look at that though. This cover here. Stonehouse did the cover. I've never even heard of Stonehouse. Super cool cover. All of these covers. I don't think there's a bad cover for Silk #1.
Right.
Usually, you if you have a bunch of covers for a book, there's always going to be something that you're like, not feeling it. But Ji-Hung Lee killed this cover. We got Wu on this one, which I can see how some people might not like this one. Wu. It's a different art. I've never seen this artist's art though on Marvel.
It looks like a Diet Coke version of Peach Momoko, and I'm sure he's not going to appreciate me saying that.
But I agree. It actually seems like Peach, but like we have more defined lines, maybe. Because Peach kind of goes outside the lines, which that's her style, right? Like she's got that undefined line style.
No, this looks like Peach wasn't available. Will her cousin do it for us?
But I've not seen this artist on anything Marvel. I could be wrong, but maybe this is their first Marvel work.
Yeah, not a good debut in my opinion.
Just kind of doing a
wow. I've turned into that guy. Wow, Lou. Wow, shame on me. I've turned into that critic. Oh, so Bartel is doing a series of those covers, huh?
Yeah. So she's got. I think this should be the next one. Oh nope, Scotty Young has a cover for Silk, which I actually really enjoy this cover. That'll go well with. I have a cool
first one.
Miles one. I have a cool Gwen one.
He did another one. He did. Or was that the Spider one? No, he did a Silk one, right? Where she's upside down.
Yes. I don't think I have that one.
Yeah, Scotty Young did. So this will be another one that he's done for her.
Yeah. But why is it not? Okay, I'll just manually go here. This is stunning. Like all of them are stunning. But I love the way that she kind of came up with this costume design for her here. Like she's got spider elements in there. Let's blow this up. We've got the kind of the Cindy Moon is South Korean, or no? Or she's Japanese. I'm blanking on where
she's Korean. I think she's Korean.
I thought she was Korean.
Yeah, she did a good job here.
Shout out to Oregon Weim. I'm gonna say that wrong. I'm sorry. She's Korean. Yeah. Okay. I was right. So yeah. So we see these like Korean elements in here with the design. That's super cool. That one's obviously on my pool.
Nice.
But we also have a ratio here. I want to say this was a 1 in 25. I could be wrong. But art by Bengal, who did a variant for Something's Killing the Children #11 also.
Yeah, this looks like a throwback to the original Silk appearance, maybe.
What's this? We got Debucha in here. What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
I don't know if Debucha's ever caught a Final Order Cutoff show. So shout out to Debucha. So that was 8. Let's see.
That was Silk.
We got a G1 cover.
Yeah.
So what is that going to be, like 150, 100?
I will tell you what, 1 in 100.
And was the Bengal 1 in 50 then, or 1 in 25?
Bengal is 1 in 25.
Okay.
And for a ratio variant, I'm not really impressed. Regular cover, that's cool, but not a ratio.
Yeah. people have this like mixed view of. Oh, yeah, it is awesome, Jay. Glad you can make it.
What up?
And comic dude's popping in. What's going on? I have the where is it? It's hard to see where it is right now. It's above the camera view, but I have the one that Bengal did for Something's Killing the Children. It got mixed reviews too. I really liked it, but just
That
like
doesn't
this
feel like a
one,
ratio one. That doesn't.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's a horrible cover, but it just doesn't feel like a ratio.
Well, I think
Like that shouldn't have been a ratio.
yeah, I think the one thing that people said about the Something's Killing Children, I think applies to this is kind of there's not a lot going on, right? We've got the
No.
character not really taking up a lot of space on the cover, and then there's nothing else happening.
Right.
But the drawing style is I love it. Like I love the drawing, but I completely agree. I would love if we're gonna not have anything else going on, maybe zoom in a little.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that being the interior art, but
Yeah,
that just looks like
it's
something that was in the interior that they just threw on the cover.
yeah, it's great art, but like you said, probably not as good as
Ratio covers are, you got Jiang, you got all these guys that they
I
can do ratios.
I think we just have too many good like non-ratio covers for this.
Right,
We're
yeah,
making these comparisons
exactly.
between Jen Bartel, Ji Hung Lee, even Scotty Young's cover, like
Geez, the main cover,
the main cover, right?
yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, Silk's probably my favorite Marvel book coming out this week. Yeah, Johnny. Editing takes up so much time. We've got some more reprints for Star Wars High Republic here. We got number 2 getting a third print, interior art on the cover. Nothing new to show there. And then number 3 is getting a second print, interior art again. Only thing that I like about this one is it does say I Drengir. And this is Drengir in the back, but we have had Drengir on a cover already, so this isn't a first cover appearance. It was cover B for number 1 that had Drengir on it. We got Symbiote Spider-Man 5 of 5 for the King in Black tie-in. This has been a decent story. It's been interesting because it's back in time. We've got Symbiote Spider-Man, we've got Black Knight, we've got Rocket Raccoon, we've got Spectrum, and we've got King the Conqueror. Like, what a crazy crew to have right there.
Yeah.
If Terrificon's still happening, I want to go. I think that's
Amy got it on the list.
It's August, right? Or end of July, something like that.
Yeah, if Amy's got it off, we're gonna try to get down there.
Put Kevin in charge of the shop and take off.
He's already in charge, man. We just yeah.
Like you're running the shop for a couple days.
Oh my god.
Have fun. Jay saying looks like it's happening. Yeah, I mean, you guys have that thing coming up in April, right?
In June. In June, yeah, up here.
Oh no, they're going
April.
to I don't remember what it was called, but it's in New Hampshire. And they're giving out some golden tickets for it.
That's awesome.
So we got that. We got the Union 4 of 5. This is actually a pretty cool cover. Ryan Brown. Yeah. Look at that. Union Jack there on the cover. That is really cool. I'm not reading this. I picked up issue 1 just to see what it was about. Also, because we got a couple new characters, so check that out. But I didn't like it. It was supposed to tie into King in Black. It didn't. But it looks like now it's not a tie-in for King in Black. So it was just kind of a 1 or 2 issue thing to tie in, and then it had its own series kind of happening. U.S. Agent 4 of 5. Heard mixed reviews about this one. Some people have really enjoyed it. Some thought, it could have been a little bit better. Marco Cicchetto, though, on cover A.
That's a dope cover.
His art is just, like, so good. So good. X-Men 19. We know this was Azarest Tiger, of course, his pick. But this is they got out of the vault, right? And so we've got some people escaping from the vault, and so that's what's going on this cover, is what he said. I have zero idea who these people are from the vault, but I guess we'll find out. And of course,
Emma Frost,
right? Jen Bartel, she can do no wrong right now. Rose City Comic Con in September. Where is Rose City in? Is it in Oregon? I'm just guessing based off of the name of you.
Mm-hmm.
Probably up in that area.
That's what I would think too.
I believe, and Debucha can give probably the exact answer, but end of July, beginning of August, I believe, was the time period. But I don't remember the exact dates. His kid collector in here. There we go. Rose City Comic Con is in Portland.
Portland, yeah.
Okay. Right on.
Portland is home to one of the coolest comic shops, man. I think it's Excalibur, I think it is. They're
nice.
Awesome.
That's a cool
friendliest comic shop. I think they're the oldest comic book shop on the West Coast, or one of them. And their back issue bins just puts people to shame, man.
It's awesome.
Awesome. And super friendly there too. I think the daughter of the owner runs the whole shop right now. The place is super organized. If you're in Portland, you got to go check them out.
Awesome. Terrificon, July 30th through August 1st. And look at this. He goes there. One of the two that he hits weekly.
Yeah, that's a badass shop. They're because it looks like the newer shops in Portland anyway are straying away from back issues, and they just let Excalibur do the back issue game.
I've seen some places where they will do that they let one shop will be the back issue shop, one shop will be more of the new stuff, and they kind of like that way they're not competing directly, and they're keeping each other going and keeping the business strong.
Right.
We get X-Men Legends #2's on Cutoff this week. So it's the Summer Brothers and the Starjammers versus Eric the Red and the Shi'ar. Interesting. So we're finding out more of Adam X's lineage. So this has been going on since the 90s. So they're bringing this back up, and this is kind of like a look during that time period at some stuff that we didn't know was happening, I guess.
Nice.
Excalibur is my variant cover back issue shop. Very nice. Yeah. And there's a action figure variant by John Tyler Christopher. Let me see if there was anything else. Last time there were a bunch of ratios. Doesn't look like that's the case. And then Dynamite. This is one we need to ask his kid collector here. He's the person who probably shouldn't be collecting these, but does collect these Vampirellas and Red Sonjas. But not a lot from them this week. Usually there's like double this of just covers of the same book. But nothing else. No The Boys this week from Dynamite. It's one of their other
Perillo. I mean, there's nothing he does wrong, man.
It's some good art, yeah.
Good Lord. I say it every time I'm on a show. It's like watching paint porn. If you go on his Instagram, he just pours that oil or that sealer on the image right at the right spot. It's out of control, man. You smoke a cigarette right after he's doing this artwork. God.
Look at this. We were just talking about this artist, Bengal.
Oh, wow. See, that one I like.
Yeah, this is the cover A for Firefly 27.
Yeah, that one I like. Oh, no, yeah. I'm not feeling that silk one, but this one's really good. This is a good one. It tells a story there.
Yeah, and that fits. Look, they're talking about what happened to Mal Reynolds. Well, here he is. He's kind of living this farm life, not flying the ship anymore.
Yeah, that's something that would be cool. Hanging that on your wall type image there.
Yeah,
you know.
Raza doing the cover B here. We got an unlockable Virgin cover. I have no idea what this is. Gunnar Krigg Court Trade Paperback Volume 7. Something from Boom I didn't even know existed. So it's Tom Seidel's hit sci-fi fantasy webcomic series. So maybe they didn't publish the previous ones, but now they picked up this to publish. And then Power Rangers Unlimited Heir to Darkness #1. Look at this cover A by Dan Mora. Whew.
Damn.
This style right here, this is, I immediately think of Once and Future. Just looking at
it. The one thing I'm going to say about Power Rangers is I love that it has aged with its original following. So the storylines are way more, with the people that followed them from the beginning.
Right.
It's not for kids anymore.
Exactly. This is, look at this, Heir to Darkness. Like, would we be able to get away with that in a Power Rangers book in the past? Probably not.
No, they're following their fan base, man. Yeah. Speaking of which, has anybody in the chat ever gone to one of those conventions? I guess there's like a Power convention or something, or a Power Rangers convention. It's just strictly Power Ranger stuff, and I guess they're pretty popular. But I'd like to see if anybody went to one of those.
We've got a connecting cover B here by Jungguan Yoon. Interestingly, I think it cut off. It says you here, but it's Yoon. And then Hyper, who is our Power Rangers man here, saying check the 1 in 50, and he's right. It is a Frizen. I've actually seen it. It's really good. But there's a 1 in 25 first by Vincenzo Riccardi, which is, look at this thing.
Wow.
I'm not a Power Rangers fan, but I almost want to just buy this because this is a work of art.
Yeah.
And then even more so, because I am a Frizen fan, look at this. This is just like, whew.
Which
the purple
and that's a 1 in 50. That's the 1 in 50.
Yeah. This is what Hyper was saying. Check out the 1 in 50 Frizen.
See, this is your ratio variant. This is what ratio variant should look like. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to crap all over Bengal, but this is what I expect the ratio variant to look like.
Right, and this is why we see Frizen will do a lot of ratios. She'll do a lot of cover Bs.
There's going to be a 1 per store. I'm looking at right now.
Is that like
it's black and white of the main cover.
Here we go. Yeah. I was gonna say, is it a virgin or a black and white version of cover A? It is.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's a light week for Boom. We've got Firefly and Power Rangers, so properties that they would put books out for, but none of their original stories on FOC this week.
Well, that's because they overloaded their printer with Berserker. I mean,
probably they gotta let everything else catch up.
Like I said, you got foil covers on the 24th probably coming out.
Yeah, the 24th. That's what, 3 weeks out still.
Yeah.
So, or 2 weeks. Sorry, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So let's check out this section. This is the section you got to kind of keep your eyes open, right? Because some things sneak in here.
Mm-hmm.
They also throw some really random things in here too, like Batman White Knight presents Harley Quinn #1, CGC graded from Dynamic Forces. Some of these things I look at in here, I'm like, is that really an orderable thing from Diamond?
Yeah, it is, and I would not do it. I've made that mistake a couple of times. Hell, that's how we got that one book that was backwards, and you'll usually get a 9.6.
Oh man, it's not even guaranteed 9.8.
Yeah, don't.
That's crazy. I've never done it. I'm always like,
we have multiple times because I figured it'll be easier to have them just do it for us. I've regretted it every time for the shop. Every time I'm banging my head against the wall.
Yeah. Who's doing this one? Who's publishing this? Oh, Titan Comics. Looks like they had this story, Adler, and there's 4 issues, so collecting that. Looking at Irene Adler, like from Sherlock.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Perpetual Comics? What's going on? We got Bite Sized number 4. I think this is 4 of 4, potentially. From AWA Upshot. Maybe we got one more issue. It might be of... No, here we go. 4 of 4. That one's concluding from AWA Upshot. What else we have in here? I kind of end up usually skipping some of the Xenoscope stuff as I'm looking. We've got, this was an interesting thing. Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Blood. We're on number 6. Ahoy, they kind of like to find properties that are freely available. So Edgar Allan Poe was one of those properties that was freely available. And they do some interesting things with them.
Mm-mm-mm.
Come on, internet. All right, am I back?
Yeah, you're here. You're back.
My whole thing, like the whole StreamYard thing, went like blank and was showing me a loading sign. But yeah, I think this is the one that's got the zodiacs on each cover, and it's like a wraparound. Yeah, Artemis, Aquarius, Gemini. Yes, this is the one. I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling it's going to be 12 issues, so they'll do all 12 zodiac signs.
Yeah, Diamond sent me the number 1 for this, all bent in half.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
when we first got these.
My hangover has a hangover. Oh man, Andy. My entire day has been on pause. Oh man, that's great. Yeah, he was with us briefly on Spine Ticks and then just disappeared. And I was like, I think he went to sleep. We've got Giga number 3 finally. We had quite a delay since number 2. Do you know if they said what was going on with that, or? No,
I could only imagine all these printers, the delays from the storms and
yeah. So this is also Vault Comics Giga here. This has been a good story. And then we have from Aftershock Comics, I Breathed a Body number 3. I wasn't too big of a fan of how issue number 1 got executed, but it looked like it was going to be overall a good story. So I'm probably waiting for the trade paperback on this. But
right.
I've heard people really have enjoyed this. So I don't think it's. I think it's one to be on the lookout for, whether that's trade paperback or individual. 27 thumbs down in 6 hours. How long will the last perpetual stream stay? It's gone. What did they do? We got Man's World number 3 from AWA Upshot. I've heard people were really enjoying this one too. Weekend getaway on a resort planet that goes south when friends run afoul of the planet's working class. So we got that one, and then kind of still looking in here. Some other things to point out. Mirka Andolfo's Unsacred, Volume 2. We're on issue number 5. Got a couple different covers here. And then this one. Aftershock, again, Nuclear Family number 2. I know Sith really enjoyed this one. He had he was showing off one of the store exclusive covers for this last night. The first appearance of Sith Lordly eating chicken nuggets. Oh, keeping things entertaining in the chat. I appreciate that. We got Stephanie Phillips' story, Tony Shasteen on the art and cover art. I enjoyed this too. This was a very interesting story. Kind of that Cold War era, and suddenly bombs are dropping though, so it's kind of an alternate take on history. It seems like. So it was a cool story for issue number 1. I hope the rest stays on that level because I'm looking forward to it. Something that was on my pull list that's been on the on pause section. Shadow Service number 6 is back. I don't know. Has people been reading this at your shop?
Yeah, they have. This one's really good.
Yeah, MI666. To me, that was just alone was pretty cool. The fact that they named the organization that.
Yeah.
We got magic, supernatural elements. Like,
this has Netflix written all over it.
Absolutely, and I think people are somewhat. I haven't heard people talk about Shadow Service. Like,
yeah. Once again, it's that small group of collectors that just love books, just love reading, and they're the ones behind this book.
I probably need to do like a reread and review for volume 1 to kind of maybe talk about
it's already a paper trade. It looks like there's a paper trade for it there. Yeah.
Look at this right here on the Cutoff is volume 1's trade. So it'll be perfect time. Catch up, read in volume 1, hop on issue 6. And then there's a cover B here, which is pretty cool, of the man in charge of MI666. We got a question from Johnny asking how Fear Case is selling.
It sells out. We have none in the shop.
Me and Johnny did a spoiler review over on Dream of August Comics a couple weeks back. We talked about it. We both enjoyed, I think, the story element of it. We both had issues with the question marks showing up in wrong parts of the dialogue. I know it was intentional, and it still bothered me. And then the art it's not my favorite art style. I think it kind of works with the story, but it's also not my favorite kind of style. So I don't know. I'm probably going to end up, I said I was going to drop it, but I think I'm going to keep reading it because of the story part. I need to know what happens. I need to know what, like, how do they solve this? Once they find the Fear Case, what do you do with it? Like,
right.
Like, what's going to happen? Like, yeah, anyways. So that piece has me still hooked on Fear Case a little bit. Witchblood number 1 from Vault Comics. Wild West road trip about, a modern Wild West road trip about a witch named Yana cruising the Southwest with a band of bloodthirsty biker vampires. The Hounds of Love, Hunter, scattered coven for the source of all magic, Witchblood. So we have witches, we have vampires, we have Wild West, bikers. It's a pretty cool mashup of genres here too. Yeah, Johnny, I feel that, and then I still think I'm like, but what happens? I need to know. Got cool covers here. Cover B, I like that.
A tarot card or whatever it is.
Yeah, tarot card, perfect kind of cover there. And then the Dazzler number 1 homage right here. Love it. I'm definitely getting that one. We've got a 1 in 15 Yoshitani cover. This is pretty cool. And then, of course, we have a 1 in 30 Virgin cover of it. So actually, they broke their formula here. Because then it's a 1 in 50 foil. So the Vault had been doing a 1 in 15 that they then turn into a 1 in 30 foil, and then they do a Virgin that was a 1 per store. It looks like they've changed that to 1 in 30 and then 1 in 50. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They're keeping us on our toes, you know. And then, so we were just talking about publishers that aren't on FOC.
Oh, it's because the 1 in 50's the 1 in 50's a foil one. Because I was like, what? Why would you? Okay,
yeah.
That makes sense.
The foil used to be the 1 in 30, but now it's the 1 in 50, and then the Virgin was the 1 per store. but it's now the 1 in 30. So Behemoth hasn't been on the FOC for previews, and I was talking to my shop, and they said that they heard they were trying to be on it, and they've been trying to get on it with Diamond, and it hadn't happened yet. But
I have you ever watched any of the documentaries about Image? I mean, when you watch how disorganized they are at first, like when you have artists and writers that are trying to run a business and none of them have any business background, you end up getting the delays like Absolute Comics, White Widow, or this stuff here. I mean,
yeah. Well, this sounded actually more like it was on Diamond's end.
Ooh, yeah,
right.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah. So
no one should be surprised though.
Right. Behemoth had essentially their cutoff for their books ended up being February 25th, which is not a FOC day, right? But that ended up being like it was the initial order or something like that, but it was also the cutoff. But this I thought was on there, and suddenly this is actually on the FOC page. So this is You Promised Me Darkness, just one of the covers, the nude variant, ended up on FOC this week. So if you missed getting to order it, I think this is, I mean, not for all ages, obviously, because it is a nude cover.
Right.
But from me talking to Behemoth, they were telling me that they see this as the next A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, which was very popular. I mean, it's got that vibe on the cover here, right? And then we've got that similar dark art on the interiors. The story, just from reading the previews, kind of interesting, kind of odd. There is some mystery here, but the art, I'm digging this black and white art, and I'm not usually a big fan of that.
Yeah,
but
some publishers do it right. The black and white, they do it right.
The one thing that I've really liked about their books also is the cover quality, the printing quality is very good.
Well, they're all looking at the success of Walking Dead. I mean, the original Walking Dead was 100% black and white.
Yeah. And I think that's it, because we got Zombie Tramp and then toys, all that stuff. So,
and you'll see a lot of shops don't do the toys because Diamond does not offer a discount that makes it worthwhile. I want to say the discount for us is 35%. When you start adding in shipping, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Here, if Guy's still in the chat, here you go, Guy. Here it is. There's your 10-inch Galactus.
Oh, wow.
With a mini Silver Surfer.
That's pretty dope.
Comics Talk Weekly is about to start here in a minute. So his link is in the description. So go on, head over there. But before we conclude, you have anything you want to talk about coming up?
Yeah, we'll do the same thing with you, because we need to get you to 500. We're going to be giving away a 1 in 25 Berserker for your channel. Anybody who
thank you, man.
Well, for people that like, share, subscribe, and get you to 500, then you could do your 500 giveaway, and we'll donate a 1 in 25 to you so that you can hit that milestone.
Awesome.
We'll give you 2 of them, so that adds up to. Anyway, we'll give you 2 of them. 2 1 in 25s Berserker that you can use to give away. Just let us know who wins, and we will get them out to them.
And we have this from Spinetix, a discount code if you go to Aegis and buy some comics. Not that that's actually blown up. I have to. There we go. So go buy your comics from Aegis Comics of Alaska. If your LCS is not being kind to you and you need a new LCS, hit them up. We're gonna talk backstage a little bit about, maybe doing some video to help you guys figure out how to set up a pool box with Aegis, and maybe then we can tie that into the FOC show, help you guys get your orders in. And I think that would be a great way for the community to be able to, one, support you guys as the shop that's out there interacting with the community, doing great things for the community, putting out funny content all the time. But also that also gives the community a good chance to get the books that they want without having to pay top dollar on, the day that it comes out because they didn't know how to order it. So I think,
yeah, we're excited about that. We love the fact that shows like you, 3 Men in the Basement, Pressable Defects, Spine Ticks,
yeah,
everyone has their purpose. You definitely are critical for us. So we have no business in the FOC show on our show. Our stuff is straight comedy.
yeah,
We don't take ourselves too seriously, and then we get to sober up on Sunday morning and put out this important content here because a lot of people don't know about the books that are coming out until it's way too late. So
yeah.
your show here is awesome, and we 100% support Sparks Comics, and of course, shout out to Dreams of August because we know they're a new channel and they're on their come up, and of course the Power Pack because they're part of our adventure series at our show.
Yeah, and I have all of those links in the description down below. So go check out those channels. Subscribe to them. Aegis Comics should be at the top of the description for you guys to check out. But yeah, now Panel Surfing knows what FOC stands for. And I'm glad you said Pressable Defects because what they do for the new comic book day preview is kind of that almost that very last check of, hey, did you know this was coming out?
Right.
So like if you didn't know, well, maybe you do have a slight chance to get that pre-order in. Maybe, maybe there's a shop you can buy it from, or you can pick it up for cover price at your shop. You don't find out about it later. So it's all connected there.
Right.
And what we're all trying to do with the community.
And if you want to see the value of your books, you better be watching Lords of the Long Box, the cover price show.
Exactly. And then that's kind of the other side of things. How are the sales doing? Like it's all part of it. So go ahead and click the link below to go to Comics Talk Weekly show. He's about to break down the previews book. And so that's the other side of ordering. So go check them out and collect what you love, guys. I'll catch you next time.